So here you have it. 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, 2 quarterbacks that are already being discussed and all that early talk about MVP, talking about Lamar Jackson and Jayden Daniels about to go here in week 6. And the Commanders won the toss and elected to send the football to the Ravens to begin this game.
This is a monster game. I mean, the excitement has been building all week. I mean, for me and you even, and obviously the battle of the Beltway fans. And
yeah,
here we go, Jim. Let's have some fun.
I like we even got a here we go before kickoff.
Yeah,
that might be a first.
Little early.
Seibert boots it to get us started. It's going to travel to about the 2. Hardy running it out past the 20, weaving past the 30, and tumbles down at the 34. Nice return of 32 yards. Well, Lamar Jackson, brilliant last week in the overtime win against Cincinnati. Had one highlight play is unlike anything you've ever seen. I'm sure you had a chance to see it. We scraped the ball off the floor, ran around, threw the touchdown pass, one of 4 touchdown tosses in that game. What he's done now is they just turned their season around after an 0-2 start. The last 3 weeks, his quarterback matchups, Dak, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar was on the winning end of all 3 of those matchups. Hand off to Henry to start it. Henry has a commander on him right away and a loss of 2. And this Ravens offense, second best in the league in scoring, second to the Commanders. They're happy to have Stanley on that line today. They've been questionable all week, as Tracy noted.
Yeah, that's huge having him in there. And this is a historic running football team, Jim. They are second all time through the first 5 games. And when you have Lamar Jackson, you're going to be a good running team. When you have Derrick Henry, you're going to be a good running team. You add them together, you're a historic running team. That's the challenge for Washington today.
It's combustible is what it is. And there's a pass, and look out. Here he goes. It's Zay Flowers down the sideline and all the way to the Washington 20-yard line. Isaiah Likely helped throw a key block on that one as they take it 46 yards. Jackson to Flowers.
It's just a simple screen, and the reason why these plays go for so many yards is obviously Zay Flowers' speed and explosiveness, but it's because you have to allocate all your resources to the running game, Jim, and you give the extra guy to the quarterback, and they just run some simple stuff and create chunk plays.
Big chunk play all the way to the Commanders' 20. And they go back to Henry. Gets tripped up right away. Nice piece of tackling here to end that quickly by Quan Martin, the safety. This defense of Washington had its best effort last week against Cleveland when they held them to only 1 out of 13 conversions on 3rd down. But they have not had an interception the entire season. Very spare when it comes to the takeaway category, and this was the big question you and I had coming in. Will they be able to stop Baltimore's offense?
You're exactly right. You got to get your hands on the guys at the line of scrimmage, quickly stop the short stuff, and then allocate all these guys to the quarterback and the running back.
Justice Hill in at running back on 2nd and 10. Jackson's pass. Intercepted! There's that first interception. Sainristil, still, the rookie from Michigan, has it. Look at Lamar Jackson swing him down. Well, we had just said not a single pick on the whole year, and boom, the very next snap, they take it away.
You called it. That was almost as good a timing of a call as you could have. And
well, the 149th pass attempt of the season against Washington results in the first one taken away. And now here comes Jayden Daniels, the rookie that is the buzz of the league right now. Hands it off to Austin Eckler, the former Charger. Going to see a lot of action today with Brian Robinson again out with injury. And Jayden Daniels, there's just so many things you could try to describe or extol about what he's done, but he leads this team to first status in scoring offense. 77% completion percentage, best in the league. 2nd and 4. First pass is caught about a yard short of the first by Noah Brown. So this Commanders offense, they put together an offensive line. They're going to have to come up with some backfield answers, but they got Eckler, who's a big veteran, Tony.
Oh, he's been outstanding. through the first 5 games, and this is what's really unique and special about Jayden Daniels. First off, he leads the NFL in third down percentage as a rookie, and he's great on third and long. But his ability to call plays to the line of scrimmage, Jim, that's just not normal in your first year.
3rd and 2, and he's got Eckler. Eckler out of the backfield, inside the red zone, down to the 16 before Marcus Williams finally ends it. But that's a pass play of 25 yards.
This is what makes them so hard. Good job by Cliff Kingsbury, releasing the back and understanding the leverage. The Ravens just out of position, but you're not expecting a wheel route. Cliff Kingsbury, outstanding start to the season.
Here's Daniels keeping it and able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Humphrey came up on him quickly and no gain. So under Daniels' direction, Washington is the first NFL team to score at least 150 points through the first 5 games with a rookie quarterback. He has been unflappable.
I mean, he's truly multi-dimensional, but you said it, unflappable is a great term. He runs when it's time to run. He's patient. He can play from within the pocket. When he scrambles, Jim, he's incredibly efficient, and he's at a historic rate scrambling, but he also throws when he does it.
2nd and 10. He completes the pass. Zacchaeus with the catch for 3. They have on the outside McLaurin. We all know about him, all of his 1,000-yard seasons. But they put together a complimentary group at wideout, including Zacchaeus, who Dan Quinn knew from his days in Atlanta.
You're exactly right. And these guys are selfless. They block on the outside. And you see the system that Cliff Kingsbury and Jayden Daniels have put together, and this staff, it's really a little bit of Daniels from LSU. Get on the ball, we can call plays, but the hard thing is they motion, Jim, when they get on the ball. That's hard for a lot of teams, and they can change it to the second play, but you gotta get it off.
3rd and 7. Daniels in trouble, and he's decked back at the 25-yard line. Travis Jones got to him first. Matabike also in on that. A sack that results in an 11-yard loss.
This is why this was going to be an incredible challenge for Jayden Daniels. No one's been able to have the rush lane integrity to keep him within that pocket, and the best team in the NFL are the Ravens. John Harbaugh, Zach Orr, they do a great job of not allowing quarterbacks to get outside the pocket and create.
42 yards for Seibert, who has not missed. He's 12 out of 12 on the season. And Seibert's kick is good. We're back here at M&T Bank Stadium. They said is one of the hottest tickets in years for a Ravens regular season game.
I can see why. I mean, you've got the number 1 and 2 scoring offenses in the NFL, top 2 rushing offenses in the NFL, and 2 dynamic quarterbacks playing at a very high level.
Seibert, just a 2 or 3 step approach to it. And again, it will be returned. Hardy had a good return the first time. And this time, not much there on the return. It was Jeremy Chin who ran it out. So Derrick Henry last week had his...
That's pretty good company, and I think he belongs there. And what an off-season pickup. And you see he's in shotgun right here, Jim. He's in shotgun more than he ever has. Lamar's under center more than he ever has.
There's Henry plowing ahead for 4 or 5. By the way, he also happened to get his 100th career touchdown in that same game, that overtime win against Cincinnati, which he really set up the winner with a 51-yard run in overtime.
Such a gift to have somebody else who can close out the game for you. It doesn't have to just be the quarterback. And this is a great 1-2 punch. And Harbaugh wanted Derrick Henry. He told us when he came out of college.
He did.
Found the guy's chance.
They weren't going to let him get away when he became a free agent.
You're right.
Here's the bootleg. Lamar, will he run with it? Yes, he will. And he dives to within about a yard of it. Bobby Wagner had hold of the leg. Wagner, of course, speaking of great careers, the long-time Seattle Seahawk. A little cup of coffee with the Rams as well. Big veteran presence on this defense for him.
You see the patience right now. The game is slowed down for Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP last year, this year. I mean, he knows the game better. He's able to make it simple in his brain.
3rd and 1. He still has it. not even going to be touched for the first 8 yards. And he tumbles after picking up the first with ease. And the interception maker, Sain Rastil, was able to tackle him after a gain of 10.
And this is really difficult on opposing teams. You got to take the dive. And Derrick Henry has that ball on 3rd and short. You assume he's going to get it. And that's just a read play for Lamar. And you see how long, this is what separates the Ravens. Jim, this is the first time Derrick Henry has ever had this many yards before contact, 3.5. That's the system, and that's having Lamar next to you. You got to count for both guys.
1st and 10. Here it is to Flowers. And he's got another big chunk play. Runs for about 12 and a first down.
This is almost as if you had the quarterback running with the ball. You get extra numbers coming across. And you see Flowers take advantage. Look how many yards they get before
anybody gets touched.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, watch. It's just a simple sweep to the right, and all of a sudden you have to account for Lamar, you see? People go to him. It's just really difficult.
And Lamar had the same thing on his 3rd down carry. No one touched him.
It's not normal.
Well down the field. No. First down. Up the middle. Henry for 4 more.
A simple dive play when he's 2.5. And don't fall for the motions and the gimmick stuff.
They've rushed it 6 times. They've thrown it 3. They've got a 2nd and 6.
This is a historic team, Jim. Remember I said for rushing?
Pass to Flowers and another first down. Well, all this history you're talking about. And it gets back to Jackson and Henry.
Yeah, look at how many guys have to be in the box here. All you do is throw a quick little out because nobody can be over there because you have to defend a big guy who's incredible. Derrick Henry down the middle and then Lamar keeping it. And you can just make a little 5-yard out. Pitch and catch as if no one's out there.
Lamar and Derrick had 935 rush yards between the two of them through the first 5 weeks. That's the most by a quarterback running back duo through 5 games in NFL history. Historic. That's their word today.
That's exactly right.
1st and 10. And another 3 for Henry.
Well, they're one of 2 teams, number 2 all time, through the first 5 games, averaging 211 yards per game. That's 2nd most in the last 40 years.
And when you just boil it down to this 2?
Yeah, the 2 best at it.
That's the most ever.
What a great job by this staff recognizing Eric DaCosta and John Harbaugh being like, if we can team these 2 together, we might not lose again. Except for the first 2 games.
And Todd, yeah, right, Todd Monken calling it. Justice Hill comes back in on 2nd and 7. Lamar forced to roll out. Down the field, incomplete. He's looking for Likely. Igbenogany was in on the coverage.
And the Redskins are lucky. Go ahead and run that. You're going to see the edge. And right there, Lamar stands, and he's almost playing with a defensive pass rush, right, Jim? It's like, all right, I'm going to wait for you to get close to me, and then I'll make you miss. And fortunate for Washington to be able to plaster that long on the outside. Commanders are doing all right here, though, Jim.
They got a big play here in the early action. 3rd and 7. Ball's on the ground. Ball is on the ground. And recovered by the Ravens, which will bring Tucker out for the field goal.
I think this is actually Linderbaum who actually hits. Watch right here. He's going to actually throw it into his foot.
Not exactly the way you draw it up.
There's a ball here.
If Wagner had just looked, he went right past it.
Wow. Fortunate for Baltimore to get that ball back, and not a great start with the ball in the first 2 possessions for Baltimore.
Tucker, 45 yards away, had that big 56-yard field goal late in the 4th quarter last week to tie it, then won it in overtime. This one for Justin is good. People are saying, well, this might be the next great rivalry, separated only by 30-some-odd miles. But, of course, being in different conferences, they only see each other every 4 years.
Yes. That'll make the ticket even tougher to get.
Yeah, that's right, next time. Down the road, they'll be down in Washington to play. Let's go down to Tracy.
Jim, everyone we talked to about Jayden Daniels mentioned his preparation. One thing Daniels told us that's really helped him is the use of virtual reality. Every day at 6 a.m. he works with it. All the plays are loaded in with offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury calling them. They can load defensive looks as well. Kingsbury called it a flight simulator for QBs. Daniels told us he started using it at LSU. It's allowed him to get way more reps, and he's seen a dramatic difference in terms of being ready for game time.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. It makes a lot of sense. Here's the pass. It looks like a backward pass. McLaurin has it. Hamilton's waiting for him, and no gain. All right, thank you, Nate. Next week, Lambeau will be the site of Houston against Green Bay. That'll be some matchup. Week 7. Here's a 2nd and 10 coming up.
I wish we were calling that game.
If you want it, we'll try to get it, okay?
Okay.
Here's Eckler. Oh, what a hit. Right after the catch, Nate Wiggins, their first-round pick out of Clemson.
He comes flying in at the corner position. And right here, it's a hot throw, so it's a good job by the offense. Washington gets the ball out, but that's exactly what you want for Baltimore. Get it out quickly and go make it a 2-yard gain.
Again, the best third-down team in the league through the first month.
That's crazy. You're a rookie. That can't happen.
You've got 3rd and 10. They're blitzing. It's picked up. Passes behind the target. Zacchaeus wouldn't have gotten the first down anyway. There were Ravens in the area. 3 and out.
I want you to watch right over the middle. At this point, he's going to look here. Great job by the Ravens of having eyes, and that's why the ball is behind him. Guys out in front. The Ravens, excellent job getting the ball out and making a punt.
They've lost 11 yards over the last 4 snaps, and now they punt. They had an 11-yard sack to end the last drive before the field goal. That's the way. Punt to Hardy.
Well, this was a rarity, Jim. The Commanders actually punted. Going into this game, they've had 8 punts.
That's it.
Through 5 games, which is tied for the fewest in the Super Bowl era through 5 games. And the other part, they're right next to the greatest show on turf, 2000 Rams, for ending drives and points.
Yeah.
So
Tress Way, the punter, had to reintroduce himself to his teammates today. They haven't seen him.
he's still on the team, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pass coming this way to Flowers. And that's well defended this time. Very little there as Butler brings him down.
Yeah, and this is a wonderful job on defense. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., the defensive coordinator, they played man, and I think you're going to have to play more man than you think. It's a scary proposition because if you're playing man-to-man, Jim, and you turn your back, Lamar or Derrick Henry, you're not there to help the other defender. But that's what you have to do to stop these little plays on the outside.
2nd and 10. Henry cannot get the running start this time. And that is Newton who stops him on the run through 5 games. They've outrushed their opponents by almost 151 yards a game. That's insane. They're only allowing 60. And meanwhile, they're averaging 211.
200 rushing yards, 6 yards a rush, 2nd team since 1970. I mean, we just talked about Washington, how many numbers they have on offense. That's why these are the number 1 and 2 offenses in the NFL. This game will come down to these plays, though, Jim, and which quarterback makes them.
So 3rd and 9. Looking and nowhere to go. Commanders with a sack. They had 7 last week, and Dante Fowler is the one who brings down Lamar. Loss of 11.
And this one's actually on Lamar. You can't get deeper than 9, possibly 10 yards. And I want you to look. There's the line of scrimmage. He's at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, that's way too far of an angle for these tackles to have to block. They don't expect you to be there. Lamar shifts back, ending the drive.
Jordan Stout standing midway into the end zone as the Washington defense clamped down on that series.
Yeah, they found something about 2 weeks ago. They were off to a rough start to start the year.
Zacchaeus catches it and tiptoes for an additional 4 or 5 yards. Commanders wanted a late hit out of bounds. We have 1 snap to go here in the first quarter. And we've had a few glimpses today of the offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, who spent last year, after his tenure as the head coach of Arizona, he was at USC as offensive coordinator, and there with Caleb Williams, who Washington will be hosting in 2 weeks. Williams throwing 4 touchdowns today in the win over in London. It's a running play and good piece of blocking here to help clear the path.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Jim, everyone thought this was going to be a really high-scoring game, and I was like, I don't necessarily see that, and the only reason is because no one's been able to slow down some of the cool stuff both these teams are doing. We're going to show you in a second. But if there's a team who knows how to defend a quarterback who's a multi-dimensional dual threat, it would be that same team, because they play against the same guy in training camp, right? The Ravens know how to defend it. Washington does too.
2nd and 4. And nothing there. They plug it this time. What a tackle by Jones. Eckler loses 1.
Here's the challenges of going against this team. You can hand the ball off to Eckler. The quarterback can keep it, or he can throw a screen out up top. They pull 2 guys from the left guard, left tackle, and you're like, whoa, 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 where's this ball going? Unbelievably precise, multi-dimensional by Cliff Kingsbury, and that's why teams haven't been able to slow him down, Jim. You can be right and also be wrong at the same time.
It's a 3rd and 5 from the Baltimore 45. Daniels backpedals a long way, bounces off his tackle, and now takes off. Takes off all the way down to the first down yardage.
Well, we're talking about Jayden Daniels' ability. He's on record pace for scrambling, and usually it's not a great thing, but for him, he's incredibly efficient with 14 first downs on scrambles. That's not including designed runs. This is just him creating, and when he goes left, Jim, he always runs. That's the one area. When he goes right, he'll throw it half the time.
Picked up the first down, and now we're going to go to the right side to Eckler, who cannot bust his way past 3 Raven defenders and a loss of 1.
And the Ravens were actually really close on that 3rd down of really keeping him in the pocket. You can't get behind the quarterback like they did there, because that allows him to step up and get out, and he's created a lot of big plays when he rolls up and to the right. To the left, more of a runner.
They lead the league in no huddle plays by a large margin, and they go quickly here on 2nd and 11. Daniels fires it, got his target. Oh, he dropped it. Left without the football. Zacchaeus, he was open. The pass was right there.
Watch this young player use his eyes. So Hamilton right there, see, he's going to move him to the right to open that window. That little movement is why I see a high ceiling for Jayden Daniels. You have to have great eyes and move defenders like that.
We've got an injured Raven down on the field all the way back near the 10-yard line. It's the rookie Nate Wiggins. And training crew out there administering some help to Wiggins. We're going to step aside for a moment. Both plays by a large margin. Kingsbury coming in and entrusting his rookie signal caller, who has a 3rd and 11 right here, to be able to make those quick decisions without huddling. Wiggins was able to walk off the field under his own power.
He's telling him, look at where they're at, changing the play now.
Got hit when he threw it deep. McLaurin, incomplete. Stevens comes in and jars the ball out.
I really like Stevens. I don't know, I might come up with glue maybe, because he's really sticky to the defender. Every time I put tape on, he can sink his hips and he can really run, and he does an outstanding job against the top receiver.
Yeah, Roquan got a hit on the rookie.
That was still a pretty good throw.
Yeah, it was.
You remember how good each of these deep throws this year on? He's as good a deep ball thrower as we've seen yet.
He was way punting for the 2nd time. I'll never forget the one he threw with a bingle on him at Cincinnati.
Yes, to win the game.
Yes, he somehow got that pass on precision deep into the end zone for the game winner. We're back with the Ravens. Going to start this series inside their own 10. Again, they won 3 straight after that 0-2 start, having lost the Thursday night opener at Kansas City
by a toenail.
By a toe, likely in the back of the end zone. The proper call. He was out.
Yeah, they've already faced 3 divisional winners from last year, right? So this is about as hard a schedule as anyone's had to start the year, and their 3-game winning streak. They did empty the bucket when they went against Dallas. I saw stuff that you would see in the playoffs. And,
they were desperate.
They were desperate.
They were 0-2. Lamar takes the handoff. Gonna wing it, incomplete. Of course, when we talked to Lamar on Friday, he said, I still haven't gotten over the Kansas City game from the championship game here in January when they hosted the Chiefs and lost.
Well, that's where he's going to be judged by those games now. He's actually a 2-time MVP. We know he's amazing. We're just talking right now about Jayden Daniels, but we've used these superlatives on Lamar before in his own way, and he's done such amazing stuff, but he's put himself in a position to where his standard will be, can he get past Mahomes and can he get to a Super Bowl and win?
There's Henry. Up to about the 12-yard line. We'll give him 5 with that one. It's update time, and Nate has it in New York. Bruce Dobbs was absent last week, suspended for the game out at the Chargers for conduct detrimental to the team. Comes back, catches a touchdown today. Thank you, Nate. We got a 3rd down and 5 on the way here. Fake to Hill. Throws it down the field. Open is Bateman for the first. He got space off St. Juice. And the Ravens get out of that jam from inside their own 10.
This is a fantastic route. You're going to see him come up here and come flying off. Lamar's just going to, little play fake, but it's literally take them all off the field and just throw routes on air, come back. And this is the one area, St. Juice, on this specific play, you're running a go route that I think Washington is not near as good as Baltimore. They can't defend outside one-on-one.
First down, stepping up, firing to the open target. Diving down to the 48 is Bateman. Again, he caught the previous play, a ball for 13, this one for 23.
This is going to be a block 'em up play and a 2-man route downfield with a couple checkdowns in the flat, but Lamar does a wonderful job. I want you to watch this play action. He's going to come out. We're going to get chips here, chips right here, and right there, he looks and moves defenders to the wide open Zay Flowers, who's been fantastic.
Ricard is in at fullback.
We good.
As Lamar changes things up at the line.
They use him everywhere, tight end, fullback.
There he goes. Henry with a big hole. And Butler able to hold on as he got into the secondary.
You're going to see the movement from the right side. This is Baltimore Raven football 101. Watch Rosengartner, the right tackle, and the tight end tag team this one up. Kohler right there. They're going to displace and move him 5 yards downfield. And if you're soft at all at the point of attack, this team, you got no chance.
First down. Fake it to Henry. Got time. Connects. Flowers spins away. Got out of St. Juice's tackle. And the Ravens are putting together an impressive drive. It started all the way back at their own 7-yard line. That goes for 23 more.
Another block him up, and they go man-to-man. I want you to watch at the bottom here, Jim. This is where he's going to go. He's got the whole field to come across because all these guys in here are blocking. And that's a really tough challenge to go against Zay Flowers and give him the whole field. But you have to play those coverages because of the running game with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
They have 162 yards of offense. 34 for Washington so far. Jackson keeps. Oh, that
should be called.
Yes, hip drop tackle and horse collar at the same time. Fowler saying, what did I do? We'll take a look at the big screen up here, Dante. Was it the back of the jersey? What was it?
Are they calling it horse collar? I don't know if it's...
Well, the officials look like they may have a little something to say.
It's close.
There is no foul for a horse collar tackle. The jerseys was grabbed below the nameplate. Second down.
Okay, Dante, I take that back. What about a hip drop?
Gene, are you there?
That looks it's
close to a hip drop.
Not a horse collar, but what about the hip drop?
Jim, that's exactly what I was thinking, because I thought it did meet the elements of being a hip drop tackle. You could clearly see the hand below Jackson's nameplate, but I think when Flowers grabs low around that waisted area, even though it's a shirt, then he takes his weight and removes his weight and falls back. Now, he doesn't make a lot of contact to Jackson's back feet, but I think there is a hip drop tackle there, guys.
I agree. They pick up the flag, though. 2nd and 12, loss of 2. Jackson wings it over to the side to Hill, Justice Hill.
That was a great job by Jackson. Not taking the sack, getting the ball out, and he's taking so few sacks, and I think a lot of that is the progressions getting through. Even though that's a nondescript play, but instead of being 3rd and 18, 16 with the sack, or 3rd and 12 with an incompletion, he's able to find it, give yourself a chance. That's why he's playing better, Jim, to me. He's not taking sacks. He's creating when it's there. He's taking he is aggressively taking what the defense gives him over and over.
Well, he's got a 3rd and 10.
Remember, Washington's first, but Baltimore's 3rd on 3rd down conversions.
Lamar. Incomplete. The flag comes out.
Well, it's all-out pressure. This is going to be a touchdown if he doesn't hold him, I thought. I thought he did grab him by the waist.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. First down at the spot of the foul.
Been a tough series for St. Juice. Been beaten on a couple of plays, and now he gets flagged on 3rd and 10 to give him a new set of downs near the goal line.
Well, it's not there. It's actually at the top of the screen. Up top, it's Zay Flowers running the in route, and St. Juice was playing safety. It was just a cover 0. You're all by yourself, and he grabs him by the waist and pulls him back.
11-yard penalty. And now it's Henry time. Derrick cutting it outside. Derrick Henry! Touchdown, Ravens!
Once they get inside the 10, they're almost impossible to stop. The secret way to score and be the best red zone team, be able to run the football, and he's as good as anybody at getting touchdowns. And then you give him Lamar Jackson. They're almost impossible to stop with any scheme down there.
It's a 93-yard drive. 93 yards.
The penalties hurt him there, but I think there might have been a touchdown or two if they didn't do the penalty.
A drive that took 5 minutes. Tucker adds the point, and Derrick Henry, 93 yards with Lamar, 4 out of 5 throwing on that drive for 60 yards. We did get a clarification from the league office that the hip drop discussion, there wasn't a 3rd element there.
He didn't fall on the back of his legs. It was
Exactly.
hard to tell. It looked like it from the first few angles, not the last one. And Gene's angles were correct with his, but the NFL was correct.
So now how will Daniels and company respond? They've, again, managed only 34 yards of offense so far. And they'll start this at the 30-yard line. Daniels, all the buzz, all the talk, and he stands tall like the Washington Monument in that pocket at times.
It's pretty good, actually. He does.
Here he is now, rolling out. Fires it complete to the 45. He got hit after the pass by Kyle Hamilton. When did you first realize this kid was special, Tony?
Well, watch right here. I knew it when I first watched him. He moves defenders with his eyes. That's a rare trait. And then for him to stand in and take hits like that, which should have been penalized, and that'll be a fine for Hamilton on Monday. But to me, I'll tell you right after this play.
There's the play, and it's incomplete.
To me, it's going to be an update. First, Jim, you got to wait.
You got it. That means Nate's bringing it home. Go ahead, Nate. Thank you. And I think Shaheed, 3 of those 4 now have covered over 50 yards as he gets the Saints back in that game. 2nd and 10.
this is where I'm incredibly impressed with this young man.
So he gets it to McLaurin for 4.
I get ready for each game we do. So you really study these two teams, right? So I have not seen Washington this year, but I watch a little bit here and there, but you don't study like you do going into this week. Well, when I saw him play against Cincinnati on that final drive when he went down, it wasn't just about scoring. The plays were coming in a little late. There was so much drama, everything, and your ability to take it and do it right now under extreme pressure and be poised and throw from the pocket, take hits, different.
3rd and 6. And McLaurin has another catch for a first down again, delivering on 3rd down, Tony.
That's what I'm saying. You're not a rookie who comes back and beats Burrow late in the game in your first 3 starts, and you don't have that kind of accuracy, and you don't throw the ball getting hit and be patient and poised. He's special.
Little throwback, gives it right back to Eckler. For the blocker out in front. Austin Eckler breaking it inside the 20. As now the Commanders' offense comes to life. It was McNichols who actually lateraled it back to Daniels, and then it goes to Eckler for 26 yards.
I want you to watch. This is going to be a flea flicker, and everyone thinks that we're going deep on flea flickers, but they're actually going to throw it right back to Eckler, the fullback playing position on that specific play. And what a really unique and great play design by Cliff Kingsbury.
You really don't see flea flickers for short
screens,
tosses.
For screens.
But it went for a big gain. Here's the pass caught at the 20. Here they go down to the 6-yard line as De'Ami Brown gets into it now for 12 yards on top of that previous 26-yard play.
I want you to watch. We just showed you. You pull these guards, okay? You can hand off, or you can throw the screen, or the quarterback can run. Fakes it. He reads the defender right there. Now it's the screen outside. These two teams are running that. Nobody else in the league is, and that's a staple, and it's so hard to defend, Jim. Three options.
First and goal from 7 yards out. Luke McCaffrey in a slot to the left, the rookie out of Rice. Daniels throws down to the 1-yard line, and that's McCaffrey who just came into the game.
How do you know to call someone? Right?
Just feel it.
No
sometimes.
interceptions and interception. McCaffrey comes in. He should get the ball here.
It's called the Romo effect, wearing off on his partner. We got it down to the 1-yard line, Tony.
Right here, this is why getting shotgun, he gets to keep it, pull somebody, keep it, hand it, keep it.
Take it to McNichols. Or are they going to call the play dead? And a pre-snap call coming against Washington.
You can't do that. To me, it's the right tackle. It's going to be on Wiley, 71. Just flinches.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This is where they really miss Brian Robinson, too, who is, again, inactive today.
See right here? Yep, 2 for flinching, Jim.
Robinson out with a knee. He has been a force in goal line. 5 touchdowns on the season. There he is. Brian's had a great start to the season. They think it's a short-term injury, but out today.
Yeah, Eckler's been outstanding this year, but Robinson's also been a really big part.
2nd and goal from 6 yards away. Daniels back of the end zone. McLaurin has it for the Washington touchdown. Right over the top of Marcus Williams. Seven-yard touchdown toss to Terry McLaurin. And what an impressive answer to the Ravens' 93-yard drive with a 70-yard drive of their own.
I mean, this is just outstanding. Right there, play fake, bam. He's going to end up throwing behind here, but look at his eyes, Jim. That's the difference. He looks over there and holds the defense. That's a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen-esque type of play.
Yeah, he's got both feet down. McLaurin, by the way, made that great catch earlier on 3rd down, too. It wasn't easy on that sideline route. Then he makes this one right over the top of Williams.
I really like this kid. He's a special talent, ton of ability, and a leader.
And extra point ties it. We met with Terry last night. So he watched the maturation process with young Jaden going all through camp. Said he would make a mistake one day, the next day he'd never see the same thing happen again.
Yes.
He's so advanced, so mature. Run back. only to the 22-yard line by Hardy.
You know what I loved about it? He said,
Bill Cowher and the Steelers facing off against the Ravens. And the Ravens starting quarterback, the first game ever at M&T Bank Stadium, was Jim Harbaugh. Going against
nice
Cowher.
One right there. Pressuring from the outside on the right over here. Look at this. This is where Lamar is changing the protection. He's gotten really, really good at this now.
Got time in the pocket here. Finds Flowers. And doubled up and doubled down at the 33-yard line. Flowers now with 6 catches in this first half.
I want you to watch. Lamar sees, he walks out and he changes so he can pick up the overload blitz, and that creates windows, and his ability to stand in, throw these intermediate routes. The evolution of Lamar Jackson is real, and Zay Flowers is having a game, Jim. Almost 100 yards already.
Yep, 6 for 98. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry, 9 carries for 38 and a touchdown, and a flag going against Baltimore here.
Oh, I want you.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Let's get down to Tracy.
Jim, this Washington defense playing without defensive end Dorrance Armstrong. He went into the locker room. He had x-rays for a rib injury. He has just walked out of the locker room and onto the field. The question is, will he return? Something to keep an eye on going forward.
He's played well, too. He's been a bright spot for the Commanders' defense.
Got to give Adam Peters, who I think is an outstanding general manager, credit for bringing him in. He's from Dallas. They know who he is, and he's lived up to it.
First and 15 as he has time. And a flag is in the secondary as Bateman could not hold on to the pass. Sainra still on the coverage, helped break it up, but the flag here.
Yeah, he was a little handsy at the top, I think. But that was another great throw. Sanders still plays nickel. They moved him outside this week. They haven't been able to play much man because they've been a little scared. But
defense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
Big Benogany is called for that.
Yeah, that wasn't. And Sanders still there. That's on the old first-round draft pick. Veteran now, but that's why they haven't been able to. But right there is where they call it, and that's going to be called. But this was really good defense right there. That's a good sign if you're a Commander fan, because Sanders still being able to play outside and be able to manage that. They'll be able to play a lot more man like Dan Quinn did in Dallas.
Emmanuel Forbes, by the way, a healthy scratch today. He's, of course, usually one of the corners you see out there.
Man-to-man, he traveled out with him.
First and 10. And there again is Igbenogany on the coverage. Trying to hook up was Jackson with Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, and this was good coverage here. At the end of it, though, you've got to actually play the ball. You'll see right here. Igbenogany. Yep, he actually turns his head.
Contact right with the arm.
Yeah,
through it.
Igbenogany actually does a good job. If he didn't turn around there and just put his hands on the guy, you could get called for the penalty, but that's still a good throw under pressure.
You did a good job pronouncing his name.
You caught it.
I saw you go back after that. I saw that.
Yes, you know the
Second and 10. And there's the completion. Out to Flowers.
It's one of the areas of concern when you play all this man coverage. They needed to do it more, but Zay Flowers with all that space inside, it's going to be a really tough job for any corner. He's an outstanding route runner.
That was a 13-yard play. As we moving in on the 2-minute mark. And that does put Flowers over 100.
Safety comes down.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
McCary called for that.
That's a rare occurrence. He has played every position on the offensive line, and he just gets a little jump. And Harbaugh goes, oh, now.
What was that? Here they go on first and 15.
Wide open.
Yeah, Aguilar the former USC Trojan. He's bounced around the league here in recent years, but now home with the Ravens. All the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Jackson's already thrown for 174 yards with 4 passes going for at least 20.
It's been an issue for both teams, actually. Too many big plays in the passing game, but you see a lot of man-to-man. See how they run down with them?
First down. He still has it, and he decides to cut his losses.
I still like it, even though you're giving up these pass plays, but you've got to shut the run down, and the only way to do it is to get guys down in there and play man-to-man.
Timeout called here by Washington after the 1-yard loss.
I like it. You can double it up. Baltimore with the ball to start the game. For the quarterback, which means you don't have that extra helper in the middle.
Back-to-back 100-yard games. After one in his first 20, drafted a year ago in the first round out of Boston College. Here's 2nd and 11. Right back to him. And he's tackled down at about the 29.
Yep. Just a simple out route. They ran it earlier.
Timeout called by Washington again. 3rd down coming up.
And Lamar's accuracy a little bit high there, but that's still just a simple pitch catch. Nothing Flowers can't handle. And this is what makes Baltimore so tough. They look at what you're in and they're like, we're going to run it if you stay back with safeties, and if you bring them all up, we'll just throw it on the outside or in the middle. How about that? Is that a good percentage? 8 targets, 8 receptions?
How about that? Again, they're going without that defense, without Dorrance Armstrong. Fadarian Mathis has come in for him. He's, in fact, now in street clothes on the sideline. That is Dorrance.
Not a good sign there. He's been playing really good football.
So the Commanders have called back-to-back timeouts, hoping to get a chance to have a possession here. 3rd down on the way.
They had success last week blitzing from the interior. We'll see if they do it again.
Pass sidearm complete. It's Flowers again to the 15 and a first down.
If you're going to send 6 guys, there's going to be a lot of space out there, and it's a great design play. Look at how he rubs right off of Mark Andrews, and I'm really impressed. Mark Andrews has taken a little bit of a back seat in this offense, being selfless there, getting other people open.
Hill pushed back by Fowler after 2 or 3.
And there's something about that. He's running a route, but he's also helping the defender guarding Flowers on the previous play. And, you know, you could run your route real quick, and then the DB corner can get right down on there on Flowers, but if you make him go over the top of you, it's a wide open.
With a minute to go in the half. Jackson end zone bound for likely incomplete. It's twice he's targeted Isaiah. Mark Andrews has not been targeted in this half.
And this was a really good defense by Butler. When you have the back of the end zone there, that's an extra defender, so he was able to play low on the corner route and make it a difficult throw.
So you got 3rd and 8. The incompletion stops it with 57 seconds.
Keep contained. Both these quarterbacks, pass rush lane integrity. Do not let him scramble out here. So your job is not to get behind the quarterback, let him step up and get out here. Take this angle right there.
Well protected, wide open, Andrews. Now he's targeted, and it goes for a touchdown.
Well done. You mention someone's name, the ball ends up in his hands.
13 yards out, Mark Andrews.
This was a really high-level throw.
It's his 41st career touchdown. He has just tied Todd Heap for the Ravens record for receiving touchdowns. Been quiet the whole half. He's been out there doing his job, blocking, etc., coming in and out of the lineup. They find him with less than a minute go in the first half to take the lead. Tucker makes it 17-10 with the point after.
They got weapons. What an outstanding job by Lamar Jackson here. You're going to see Andrews, and right there, this is when he has to make the decision, right there. And to me, you've got to beat the backside safety on this seam route, and he does a great job of fitting this in on the back shoulder, high and away, where his guy gets it, no one else. And when you got a guy that size, that's going to be a touchdown every time.
Andrews' first touchdown of the season. We were talking to Todd Monken. There's just so many different people that you'd like to be able to give him the ball. And people are wondering, like, well, why isn't Andrews catching like he had a 100-catch season a few years ago? There's just so many weapons now on this team.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, but that's also why you have selfless players. I mean, when you have Terry and you have Mark Andrews, it's like these guys are okay. They're winning, and not everyone's like that when you're one of the top players of your position in the NFL, but well done drafting the right kind of guys. Terry for the Commanders, I mean. Zay Flowers for the Ravens.
Tucker's kick, and it's a deep one, and it's a touchback. The team hosted more than 120 different projects at schools and nonprofits across Maryland. 14 players and over 100 staff members participated in the day of service.
Well, here we go, 53 seconds. You want to get one play, a simple play, run the ball with the quarterback.
Steps away from the pressure and takes off. And he slides for 9. The foot got planted and stuck for a second.
Yep, and now get up and go quickly. You're in great position. You always have to get a first down just so Baltimore doesn't get another opportunity, but now I would be aggressive.
Have one timeout to play with. Pass sideline bound.
Perfect throw.
Nice catch. Yep, perfect throw and catch by Noah Brown. Noah, who was out last week with a groin injury. They say that did not stop the clock. He was inbounds.
That's a fantastic catch right there. And you get out of bounds. You still have a timeout. You have a chance.
That's at the feet of Eckler.
That was a really smart decision right there. That was going to be tackled for no gain. I mean, that is a veteran-type move, Jim, to throw that in the dirt on purpose instead of getting 1 yard tackled inbounds.
And again, they do receive the third quarter kick after deferring at the top. Can they get in range for Seibert at the very least? They have the one timeout. They have 15 seconds. Seibert, who hasn't missed a kick, but hasn't attempted one any longer than 45 yards.
4 guys over here. You can get a slant up top. Unless someone pops out, you're good.
Daniels going to take the 7 or 8 or more after the broken tackle. Well done, Zacchaeus. And he goes out of bounds.
Great play design by Cliff Kingsbury. It's almost just an easy read for the quarterback. If everyone goes over here, you have all that space. That's why you throw 4 guys to the left. But the difference here was Zacchaeus making that first move and getting out of bounds, saving that timeout so you can do anything here.
Picked up 11. Both quarterbacks, 14 out of 19 passing. 10 seconds to go for the Commanders in the second quarter.
They would have had to kick the field goal here if he was tackled in bounds.
Daniels goes sideline, and it's Zacchaeus again to get a little closer for Seibert. Now only 5 seconds remaining, and they're going to bring out the field goal unit.
Wow. I just keep getting more and more impressed by Jaden Daniels. He looks to the left, looks left, slides left, and under pressure throws an out route to the right.
It's going to be 52 yards, this attempt for Seibert.
My prediction, we got 2 MVPs on the field today. We all know about Lamar.
He's already won it twice.
Daniels will be there one day.
52 yards to close out the half. Seibert's kick, it's ugly. And no good.
They had troubles earlier in the year in the kicking game, and now they have it again. I think they said it was tipped a little bit there, actually.
That's been Cleveland who is celebrating his role in that. Let's go to Trace.
Coach, obviously you would have liked 3 right there, and the poise from Jaden Daniels have been obvious, but defensively over 200 yards passing, and Zay Flowers has been killing you. How do you adjust?
Yeah, that's the deal. We knew in the run game that was a big deal, so we've got to be able to sharpen up. They had an explosive early on the screen, and but he's the one. He's been a factor for sure, and that part we have to get right in the second half. We get to start with the ball, so we got to go fight our way right back in it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's the end of the first half with the score. Baltimore 17, Washington 10. Halftime coming up. And I'm sure Dan Quinn and his crew are in there trying to figure out the same thing that everybody else has to figure out. How do you slow down Lamar Jackson and that Baltimore offense?
It's been hard for every team this year. I mean, they tried zone early, then they went man. That gets rid of the quick little passes, screen plays off of it. But you've got to load the box, stop the run. The biggest thing is you got to get an extra guy on Zay Flowers. Now, when you're rushing those guys, you're putting everyone in the box, Jim. You don't have that rat player in there to help because he has to be accounted for the quarterback in the run game. I would take the free safety who plays deep and start to move him toward that middle of the field and don't allow these in-breakers over and over again against man coverage.
They are not going to allow this kick to be returned. And just a little earlier, Tracy caught up with John Harbaugh.
Huge special teams play at the end of the half. You've been able to get it going, except you've done it through the passing game. How important will it be to get the run game going in the second half?
Well, I think if we can keep doing it through the passing game, the run game's going to follow that right now. So force them to get out of that run defense they're playing, loosen that up a little bit by throwing the ball. I think our guys are doing a good job executing with that.
What would you like to see defensively against Jaden Daniels and this Commander's offense?
Well, he got out of there in that draw, that keep him in there, then play a really good red zone defense if they get it down there. But keep the pressure on, keep him in the pocket, and good solid coverage, keep it inside in front on defense.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Tracy.
That first play of the third quarter is Eckler, brought down right away by Kyle Van Noy,
who's having an outstanding season. I mean, leading the team in sacks, quarterback pressures, and then also did a great job, obviously, there in the run game. But they've got to get the running game going here.
Here's Daniels over the top, on target to the Baltimore 41-yard line. Noah Brown again. Daniels hit 75% of his passes in the first half for 131 yards, and now he has his longest pass play of the afternoon, 28.
You said it. This was a great adjustment at halftime. Just getting out, run the ball on first down, play action on the next. Stick with the running game, though.
There they go with Eckler on the ground for 5. By the way, Marlon Humphrey was a little slow to get up after that long pass play. There are the quarterback numbers in the first half.
Other than the one errant throw on the first drive by Lamar Jackson, he's been outstanding. Jaden Daniels, he's played high-level football as well. The big thing is going to come down to a turnover and who has the ability on a third down, which quarterback can escape or create the big play.
2nd and 5 up the middle, and nothing happening at all.
Well, the last play, Washington ran the ball, and it's because both safeties were high. Baltimore, number 1 in the NFL at defending the run, and not great in the pass game, but I think that's been a lot of just mistakes. It's not personnel driven as much as they just get out of positions, and here's the plays I tell you will determine the game.
Yeah, Washington's been the best in the league again on third down. That defense that only yields 60 a game on the ground so far has given up 30 on 10 carries.
All these guys up here, if they blitz, you got to have an answer fast. He saw one drop out. Here we go. Got to get it off. Snap it.
Not in time. Going to back him up 5, which also brings up a longer field goal unless they call timeout here.
Timeout. Washington.
They got the timeout just in time.
30 seconds in length.
I thought Dan Quinn was late to call that timeout. It's smart because it was going to be a penalty. But let's see if he actually tells the ref right up here. Dan Quinn's right next to him, right there.
Kingsbury came running down the sideline.
I thought he was a hair late. But smart. Timeout. Commanders.
Roquan wanted the call, but they instead save the 5 yards, but lose a timeout they may desire later in this game.
No, you have to keep pass rush integrity here, Jim. You cannot allow the quarterback to use his legs. If he drops back, he's incredible at scrambling and getting first downs, and definitely don't let him step up and go to the right.
3rd and 5 from the 37. Going back to the sideline, wide of the mark. Not quite timed up this one with Noah Brown. And they'll bring out, again, Seibert for a field goal attempt.
Look at his foot right at the end. He just barely slips. Ball was thrown on time in a good spot. Noah Brown just barely slipped at the top of his route.
So it's going to be 55 yards for Seibert. They missed on the 52-yarder going into the locker room at halftime. The one from 52 was blocked. 55 yards. Seibert's kick, it's a beauty. And right down Broadway. Going back to the Hogs, and before that, the Over the Hill gang.
The excitement level is starting to come back again. This is a transition phase, new ownership, outstanding coaching staff, quarterback.
It's a driving kick, and through the end zone, and a touchback.
Are having a go of it. Like I said, you've got to still stop the run. Don't adjust and have safeties back to stop the pass. Keep that going. You've got to get a turnover, something that goes their way.
Over 200 yards passing in that first half for Lamar. And hands it off to Derrick Henry. Power run for about 7.
That's not a good sign because they were in the run front. 8-man front should slow down the running game, but this is just too good of a unit.
Boy, John Harbaugh has to love, though, the way this is starting to come together after that
His vision.
slow start. And we were talking to him this week about how they're giving Lamar even more freedom at the line of scrimmage, trying to simplify some of the language inside the team and sending out signals so they can move faster.
Yes, they're more exotic, but simpler. That's the whole goal. And doing stuff at the line, the run game, the pass game.
Again, it's Henry this time. He is chopped up after getting about halfway to the first down mark. It'll be 3rd and about 2. Jean Baptiste on the tackle.
Yeah, it was a great play by him. That's what you need. Somebody to step up and make a big play. But John Harbaugh, one of the best coaches. I mean, I think
Hall of Fame.
No question. I mean, he's a top 10 all time for
Yep.
me. I think he's one of the rare coaches who knows all 3 phases: special teams, defense, offense, and he just has a great pulse. That's why this team's in it every year. And then when you give him some of the guys he has now, they can win the Super Bowl.
He's got a 3rd and 2. It's going to be Lamar. Not even touched. There goes Lamar into the secondary. Jackson to the 28 of Washington. Boy, Justice Hill was running with him and making contact and helped clear the way for his quarterback. And he breaks a big one on 3rd and 2.
Well, you're going to see the pulling of the guard. You get 2 guys as if you handed the ball off to a running back, so you get extra numbers. That's why you have to bring guys down. But no team is better at designing quarterback runs than Todd Monken, John Harbaugh. I mean, the Commanders try and do it. They're not near as successful. They're better when Daniel scrambles, but right now Lamar, when he has these designed runs, it's unstoppable.
That was 33 yards. Play action fake. There he goes to Likely. Likely with 4 helmets on him, approaching the 10-yard line, and the Ravens got this thing in sync again.
It's a fantastic route, but I want you to watch the play fake here, and Likely goes in, and then right here he's going to come right back out, and this is why it's hard to play man-to-man. The Commanders just don't have enough guys who can actually keep their leverage. You cannot let him get outside of you. Your help is inside, and it's really just a poor job by the Commanders in general. Now it's Walker.
Here's the handoff to Flowers this time. Well, how did he do that? He turned it upfield, had 2 Commanders chasing him for a loss. Ends up gaining 2. That comes after 18 yards to Likely on Isaiah's first catch of the game.
That's a good job trying to turn it back in by Fowler, but the fancy footwork of Flowers.
Fowler and Flowers, and it ends up Flowers with a 2-yard gain. I think he's got 9 catches, 132 yards.
Wow.
4th most in team history in the first half.
Most receptions, and this is
Most ever.
This is the way Washington has a chance to win. They got to stop them.
2nd and 8. They had him. Still running free. That was about to turn into one of those classic Lamar highlight reel plays
that he had last week to Likely. And this one, though, this is what you spend all week on, is to keep contained. Don't let him get outside. Now, I don't want you to fall down right here, but you see how there's no way to get outside. No way to get outside. And if he can't break contain there, gives a chance for the coverage sack.
A loss of 4. There's Bateman trying to get free, but you got a 3rd and 12 now.
Same thing here. If either of these quarterbacks is able to get out of the pocket, you might as well give him a touchdown.
Time. Now rolling, looking. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage, and it's thrown away. This might be on the offensive line.
Yeah, it'll probably be declined, and just don't give him another opportunity at it and just make him kick a field goal. A stand by Washington. That's one of the keys to the second half. They're going to move the ball on you.
Holding. Offense number 80. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So likely had a catch on this drive to get him down here, down to the 11-yard line, but that penalty is declined. Bring back out Tucker. Field goal try of about 32, 33 yards.
Surprised there wasn't more Derrick Henry inside the 10 there. That's where he really separates, and that's where this team is very difficult to handle.
Tucker has made 38 of his last 40 from inside 50. And he knocks another one through. Approaching midway point, quarter number 3. In a game that features in all 4 Heisman Trophy winners active today. Of course, you know about the quarterbacks, Lamar and Jaden, but you got Derrick Henry and Marcus Mariota, who backs up Jaden Daniels. It's not the record, though. I had to look it up yesterday. There was a game one time that had 5 featured in one game. The Tennessee-Baltimore game a few years back. And look at this run back bouncing around.
I'm excited for it. But there's the Heisman Trophy winner right there.
Single. Hey, no.
Daniels, pocket secured, pass perfect. First catch of the game for Zach Ertz. Zach coming over from Arizona, picks up 21.
It's just another misdirection play design. Suck up all the defenders and throw just a simple pitch catch. And it's so hard to defend these offenses because of the run game possibility, play action game. It's just, they got everything.
Hand off to McNichols, the well-traveled running back who is finding quite a role inside of this offense. Moves ahead for 4. They got the no huddle going now as Lamar watches. 3rd quarterback matchup between reigning Heisman Trophy winner and NFL MVP winners.
Hand it off or keep it with the quarterback.
2nd and 6. Knocked down at the line.
Those are huge plays. That was going to be an easy first down. But Urban gets his hand right up, making it a 3rd down and 6. And now we've got a chance for Baltimore. Crowds starting to get into it now, Jim.
Everybody rising to their feet for this one. 3rd and 6. So good on 3rd down. Will he be this time? Daniels down the field, and he is almost intercepted. Should have been right in the hands of Ardarius Washington, who can't believe that he didn't come up with the football.
One of the rare mistakes of letting Daniels get out to the right, but this wasn't as easy an interception as you're going to have. The problem for Washington, he's like, there's no way a ball is just thrown right to my chest. You get a little nervous, and then the ground trips you. And Tracy was on the sideline there going, oh,
yep.
Saw you there, Trace.
Washington unable to make the play against Washington. 3rd punt of the game for Way. And it's a beauty, and it's down right at the 5-yard line. Wild happenings in the Big Ten. Yesterday you saw that Penn State USC game on our air. It was a thriller. Won by the Nittany Lions out at the Coliseum. 1st and 10. And that's Henry for 2. Now, last time they started a drive back in these parts, they went 93 yards on a drive for a touchdown.
Well, this is a big moment in the game right now, because if the Ravens are able to go take this another 90-plus yard drive and score, it really makes it difficult to believe Washington can come back and win. And if you can get a 3-and-out right here, you have a great opportunity to tie this game up with field position. But Lamar's got to mitigate anything here as a quarterback, a disaster that Jaden almost did in the last series.
Here's Henry with a full head of steam. And he's got a first down with ease. Out of bounds at the 20.
And this is why they're so hard to deal with, Jim. Lamar doesn't have to do anything. Hand it off twice, and it's going to be a simple toss play, and you follow Ricard on the outside, and no corner wants to go hit him, and no safety wants to hit Derrick Henry.
Reminded me of him a couple of weeks ago, going 87 yards against Buffalo in this building when they blew out the Bills.
And he's supposed to be older, right? And he's the 5th, 6th fastest time of anyone in the NFL this year.
How about that one run?
So running back.
Alert.
First down. Fake to him this time. And got a completion again to Andrews, his second catch. Jeremy Chin trying to defend. Goes for 15 yards.
No help inside. Chin's got to cover the whole field, and it's just asking a lot. Andrews with a great route, but it's all because these play fakes just suck up all these backers. And once they get around the line of scrimmage, look at how much space is there, and Lamar finds them again.
They're going to, on first down, Henry. Now look at that. That's pure strength on Henry's part. Another 4 to his total. 14 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, and this is why I think the Ravens have a chance to win the Super Bowl. You know, they did last year, but this is even more of an imposing team when you bring a guy like this in there. They can just play winning football because you can protect the ball, the experience these guys have. It's just set up for simple plays and keep doing it over and over again.
Justice Hill in it, running back. Lamar takes off for 2. Wagner stayed his ground. Luvu was in the backfield fast, and Jackson decided to run with it.
After a great week last week, he's kind of moving around, and they're using him, Dan Quinn, a little bit like he used Micah Parsons, where he's going to rush. He plays inside, outside, in the middle, and good disguise there, having him come free.
3rd and 5. Ravens 5 for 8 on 3rd down today.
If these guys come, you got to protect the inside and the middle.
Sideline bound, receiver down, and a flag is down on St. Juice, who's been flagged already today.
Yeah, this one's close, though. I saw it from up here.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. First down to spot the foul.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, watch at the top. I think Bateman might have slipped and.
Wow.
I don't think that's a penalty.
I don't see
know
that
his hands
at
are
all.
there.
No. Well, that looked a little bit more.
His hands on him. He's not holding that. That's not a penalty technically. But if your hands are all wrapped around somebody, you have a chance to call that.
10-yard penalty and a first down.
They just need better technique out there.
Fake to Henry again. Deep throw, wide open. Andrews looks around, there's no one there. And he's tackled at the 12 by Sainra still. And they're threatening to put up another 90-yard plus touchdown drive.
Go ahead and watch Lamar with his eyes right here. See how he's staring out here? He's going to pull the defenders down, and then he throws it out. That's why it's so hard to play against these two quarterbacks. They use their eyes to move you out of position and zone, and you can't play man. I mean, what do you do, Jim? This is getting very difficult to really feel like Washington can stop him.
That was a 38-yard connection.
They're not going to make the same mistake this time down here. Derrick Henry's getting the ball.
There he goes. Henry works it all the way near the 6. Wouldn't surprise you to see him keep going back to him on the next down.
Well, if you think about it, 3 plays inside the 10 on the last drive, and they kick a field goal. I'm like, if this guy touches the ball 3 times, you're probably getting 10 yards. And it's easy to throw a touchdown when you have to bring everybody down in there to stop him, because now you got plenty of space one-on-one. Now Washington brings everyone down. Jim, look at how many guys are right here.
2nd and 5. He'll still face that with power, with Henry, with a touchdown. Great call, Tony. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
You're exactly right. You got to give this guy the ball. That's why you go get him. There's very little space inside the 10. You've got help on the sidelines and the back of the end, so you can't create space. So the only way to do it, bring Ricard back from the left side and let the big guy. No one even wants to hit him. He's so big, Jim. You saw him at practice. It's like, oh, I just missed him.
But it was exceptional blocking, as you pointed out there. Not just Ricard, but McCary, Fa'alele also, and really clearing an open path. As much as they had it all clogged and bunched on defense.
You're exactly right. And I mean, this goes to the coaching staff of the Ravens, and I think over and over again, George Warhop, offensive line, Willie Taggart, these guys, they know what they're doing.
So they had a 93-yard drive earlier for a touchdown. This goes one better. 2-touchdown lead now. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And another touchback. Houston up big on New England right now, late 3rd. And Green Bay's up big on Arizona. So those 2 teams are going to go with big records. Speaking of C.J. Stroud, he grew up with Jaden Daniels. They've known each other since they were kids. Competed against each other in hoops in the Inland Empire out in California. Bryce Young was someone that Jaden competed against in football, but CJ, very close friendship there, connection between those 2.
Yeah, how cool is that? And they talk once a week, actually, still during the season. They grew up competing, rooting for each other, and to have 2 guys from the same area come out and be this incredible at the early start of their career, it's impressive.
He's got a 1st down with the completion to Ertz. And for more on that story with Jaden, let's go back down to Tracy.
You guys talked about how competitive the 2 of them are between C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels. Well, Daniels actually has Stroud's rookie season stats: 4,108 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, written on his phone. He says it's a personal challenge to beat them. Stroud knows it. He's okay with it. The 2 are extremely competitive with each other.
Wow, that is awesome to hear. It's going to be something to watch as Eckler stumbles up ahead to about the 50. Of course, both those 2, talking about Stroud and Jaden Daniels, the 2nd selections in the draft. The last 2 drafts. Pick number 2.
And I think everyone knows about last year. This one still has yet to play out. I think Chicago's off to a good start this year, but Jaden's obviously off to the best start of any rookie quarterback, and not just in this draft, but in a while for anybody. But this is a huge moment right here. He can actually win this game and come back 14 down on the road. His rise, he'll go up another level.
That's possible. Here he fakes. Smith coming after him. Got the pass. With all that heat in his face, it's Ertz again. That was Roquan almost getting the Daniels in time.
He just has great spatial awareness in the pocket. I want you to watch. Roquan's coming here. He'll just slide to the right to buy that extra half a second to be able to deliver that ball. And Ertz has been playing.
We are back at M&T Bank Stadium for quarter number 4. Jim Nance with Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson. Jim Rickoff down on the truck, producing. Mike Arnold, Arnie directing, and all the crew. Great to have you with us. Washington driving here as we start the 4th. Zach Ertz, 3 catches in that 3rd quarter for 56 yards. Got a 1st down at the Ravens 28. open. McLaurin, oh, and he gets hit. He gets whopped and holds on. That was Hamilton, and that's going to draw the penalty marker.
He should have had one earlier on Daniels in the pocket and got away with that one, but they caught him here. And
how about
a
McLaurin?
tough. Yeah, McLaurin is just everything you want in a receiver. Tough, physical, catches everything in his catch radius, and then on top of it, steps right back up. Football player through and through, but they're questioning this right now.
Replay assist might be discussing it too.
There's no foul for unnecessary roughness.
Nope.
Oh, I think it was the correct call not to call it. Shoulder to chest. Gene?
No, it's a really, really good job of officiating, Tony. McLaurin finishes the catch and is in a position where he can defend himself. And when we saw that great angle we just saw, you can see a real hard shoulder right to the chest. I think it's a great job of officiating to pick it up.
Here's Daniels rolling out and incomplete. My collarbone is sore just watching that replay. Got right underneath the neck.
You were right. It did look like it, right? That's just perfect technique, and that's an adjustment, you know. Hamilton, one of the great safeties in the National Football League, first team All-Pro last year. And I think they did a good job. Zach Orr, defensive coordinator, has him playing safety a bunch today. And he was in the box a lot, right? They lost Queen, and I think they're kind of finding where to put these guys in the pieces and how to do it.
2nd and 10. Daniels has it. Running out of room. No gain. Now you got a 3rd and 10 coming up.
Well, and this is what makes the Ravens so challenging for quarterbacks who use their legs. They've only given up 3 scrambles on the season. And Jaden Daniels is scrambling almost 20% of the time when he drops back to pass. So give Baltimore credit. It's only the 4th time, and he's not done much when it's design runs.
And again, the Raven faithful rise.
Jaden has overcome this over and over again this year. This is a really tough one, though.
From the pocket. Caught at the 5 and down at the 1 is Ertz.
This is a rookie quarterback with internal pressure, and he throws this so early. Jim, he threw this ball well before the defender got past the Ravens.
Down at the 1, 1st and goal. To Eckler, stacked up, nowhere to go. 4 or 5 Ravens in the area.
Yeah, and the #1 rush defense in the NFL, I would probably not get in shotgun only and spread everything out. If you get in shotgun, have tight contested so the quarterback can keep it and get on the edge, but you're not going to run the ball in on the Ravens spread out formations.
That was Oway who said no way as Derrick Henry.
Okay.
They don't have a Derrick Henry with Brian Robinson out with a knee injury today. 2nd and goal. Ravens late substitutions. They're confused over here on defense.
You can't quarterback sneak it. No, that's not going to work, is it?
Daniels fights for it, and he is hammered.
Ravens said no. I was like, I knew when they motioned Jim, this looks like they're going to have a quarterback play. And I'm like, that was not correct based on the way the defense aligned.
It's Van Noy who read this one out.
There's just no gap free, and he took a wicked shot.
Roquan went up high for an attempt. We do have a marker down, I'm hearing.
Illegal formation. Offense number 73, who reported as eligible, was covered at the end of the line. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Interesting. Ravens will take.
So if you watch right here, Jim, he's on the line, but the receiver all the way out to the left is also on the line. So you have 6 guys, 1 receiver here, and another one way out there. You can't have that many guys on the line of scrimmage. Only 7. They had 8.
They take the penalty, makes it 2nd down at the 6 instead of 3rd and goal from about 1.5 yards.
Ooh, good call. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Daniels Flushed. Desperation. Incomplete with Eckler in the area.
Who did I tell you is the best at containing quarterbacks who use their legs at getting out in the NFL? And for a while, it is the Ravens and Kyle Van Noy. He knows that. Belichick all these years. Don't go behind him and don't go way inside. Stay out there. Make him go back in. Stay out there.
Daniels actually doing a good job of just getting the incompletion. Got a third down coming up.
Great discipline by Baltimore.
3rd and goal. There's 6 snap inside the 15 on this drive. Daniels pass, incomplete. Broken up.
I would go for this. If I was Dan Quinn, I'm going for this.
Was trying to go to Noah Brown.
The problem was you had inside leverage by Wiggins, and so Noah had to fight. It took a long time.
Okay, they're going for it. They are on the season 8 for 8 on 4th down. Timeout called. You saw Harbaugh running down the near sideline to call it. I think you're right. You got to go for it. I mean, you're still going to be down 2 scores if you kick the field goal. You got 12 minutes to go, and you haven't been able to stop Baltimore. They've scored their last 4 possessions.
I'm going for it.
Yep.
I mean, you back them up again. There's no way they could go 90-plus yards and score, right?
Not a 3rd time.
Oh, not a 3rd time. Yes. This is where the 3rd down play earlier, I said, Daniels has been able to step up over and over and over and over again this year on big down and distances. Well, this is by far the biggest.
And you've seen it today, too.
Yeah, he just did it on the 3rd down earlier, and he threw it under pressure. He's going to have to do the same thing here. I'm getting the ball to 17. McLaurin is your guy. I don't think they're going to double him right away. You'll have a chance. Now he's going to come out, probably pop out. If he blitzes, you throw it here. If he pops out, give it to him.
Here it is. To the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. The timing was to perfection. McLaurin with the grab.
It's a great job by a young quarterback seeing the look of the defense, and I said he smoked him off the line. It's an incredible route, and what a catch. He wanted to throw it a little sooner, and he should have. He pump faked too long.
How about 9 for 9 on the year on 4th down?
And that's against Stevens, who's playing incredible football at the cornerback position for the Ravens, and that's just go to your best player and throw it to him and see what happens.
Seibert to make it a 7-point game.
I mean, that literally could be, if they win, that's the play right there that gave him a chance.
Extra point is blocked again. They had a field goal blocked and now a PAT to make it an 8-point game.
No, it's in. He made it.
Back at M&T Bank Stadium, we looked at this replay many times over. We actually don't think there was any contact here, was there? Can you tell? It was Urban and Cleveland.
I don't think there was contact. I just think he hit a knuckly kind of fat chip shot that I may have done a time or two.
Yeah, that was good. Had a good result. The Ravens haven't blocked a PAT in 8 years. I thought they might have had one there, but it is good, and it's a 7-point game. Seibert with the driving kick to the goal line. Hill, Justice Hill, tackled down just across the 20-yard line. So their last 4 possessions, touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown.
That efficiency, and they're driving the field over and over again. I mean, there's no field position. I mean, the Commanders haven't even turned the ball over, so they're having to go the distance on a lot of these, and shows you their ability over and over again to be able to handle in phase.
What they had to do last week against Cincinnati over and over again. They were down 10 a couple of times in the 4th quarter, and Lamar kept driving them. They kept answering back.
Yes, and in that 4th quarter, they were just able to do like whatever they want. It's almost like they're just really finding their identity fully on when to do what and the time to call it.
Henry, blocker out in front. And he just gets stronger as the game goes on. Getting everybody worn down for another 7 or 8. Let's go to Trace.
Jim, this Washington defense certainly needs a stop. They're already without defensive end Dorrance Armstrong, but now they are without defensive tackle Josh Allen. He is out for the game with a left pectoral injury. 2 big losses for this Washington defensive line. Jonathan Allen, sorry.
It's okay.
We know Allen, that's a big one too, because Allen and Payne, the Alabama guys, are the reason you think you have a chance against someone like Derrick Henry in this team, but it's a big loss.
Of course, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne and Derrick Henry were all together at Alabama. This time he's got a first down.
And that's where he plays. You would have had 93 right there and made it tougher earlier in the game on the inside runs, but now that's the dam is breaking.
Henry now up to 89 yards to go with 2 touchdowns today. How do you come up with some kind of answer? You haven't already tried already to this point if you're Washington.
If they've tried a ton. To me, at this point, I'm doing movement. So in other words, I'm slanting the D-line, and I'm like, here, scrape over the top. Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Another completion.
But the Ravens are so in tune to know when you might be doing that stuff, and they just throw it because you're leaving areas open. As soon as you blitz here, now that area doesn't have a defender, and Lamar throws that very early and perfectly.
17 yards on the...
You got to risk it, though, at this point, Jim. You can't just line up and play zone or man. Like, you've got to pressure, but you've got to do it with movement, and you've got to be able to slant people, and you're not going to beat them man on man up front. Slide the whole line, scrape over, get movement.
1st and 10. Henry. Push back this time by Bobby Wagner and others. It's update time. Stays active, makes a touchdown to give him the lead here in the 4th in Nashville.
And Nate was right. That's a good call. Hat or higher. Here comes the pressure.
2nd and 9. Bateman roaming free. St. Jude's having a difficult time back there. There was so much separation. 18 yards on the pass play.
This all starts by Hill. Here comes the pressure internal. If the running back Hill doesn't pick him up, you don't have the time for this in-breaker right here. And to me, Jim, what I told you at halftime was that the Ravens are going to throw the ball when you get all the guys up in there. The free safety in the back of the field, Jim, is the guy that you'll see come into the screen right there. He's got to get down in the middle on the passing plays if you're going to set up to stop the run.
St. Jude's on Bateman. They were teammates together at the University of Minnesota. As Henry has another 5. So this Bateman matchup with St. Jude's, well, they've gone against each other for years in practice when they were Golden Gophers. And maybe that explains a little bit why Bateman's having his way with it a lot of the time.
Yeah. And that there's been a lot of receivers having their way with the secondary of the Commanders here. And I feel like that's the building Washington's doing right now. Josh Harris, incredible job hiring the right people, getting Peters, Quinn. But to me, they're just not ready yet in the secondary and on the back end here. He's got to start getting down here.
2nd and 6. And they've got a tackle for a loss. Just what they needed. And that was well done by Furl, Cleveland Furl, who hasn't played since week 2, coming back off of the knee. Makes the stop here.
You're going to see the pressure come right there. This is exactly what you have to do, is start sending backers and changing the timing for the offense communication. Watch right here. This is where it's going to come from. Wagner comes flying down, and that's what allows 99 to get in and finish the play. Farrell.
3rd and 11.
Here we go. This is it. Now you've got all these guys here. He stays down here. Take away the middle.
Completion a yard or 2 short with likely. It'll be actually 2 yards short. Field goal would make it a 2-score game.
You got to kick the field goal.
Yeah, they're bringing Tucker out. Tucker has already made a couple today from 45 and 32 yards.
That's why you had to risk it, by the way, Jim. You've got to send pressure stuff because you got to get a negative play. Otherwise, you're not able to stop this offense.
This one is 39 yards. Tucker's kick is good against the NFC. The only time he lost was in a game in October of 22 against the New York Giants. It's the only NFC team to beat him. 21-1.
I think it's because you never see a guy like him, and if you don't get to study him and see him all the time, you got no chance.
There you go, 0-0. Hey, ace. Ace 23. Wow, what's that?
Going to go up top here on first down. Again, he threads it. Those passes are so precise. It's McLaurin again.
And he throws it to the correct shoulder. The DB is coming from the other side, Stevens. And if he throws that on the left shoulder in the middle, Stevens will knock that down. Throws away from him on the left shoulder.
14-yard gain as we move inside 6 minutes. Try to keep him a little honest with a run.
No, it's
Eckler.
Close, though. I mean, to me, I wouldn't have done it on the second play. Keep going. Put the ball in your young quarterback's hands and get on the ball a little bit faster than this right now.
You saw Cliff Kingsbury. He was drafted out of Texas Tech by the New England Patriots with a sixth-round pick. They actually hit on the sixth-round pick in another year with a quarterback.
He was pretty good.
They had Kingsbury.
Great. Look at this. This is 35 seconds that they wasted because they ran the ball and substituted.
2nd and 7. And this time, Daniels cannot get away. Ngakoue is the first to get to him, loss of 3.
Watch the incredible discipline right there. The incredible discipline of the rush lanes right here is what makes the Ravens so tough. They do not beat themselves on the fundamentals. That's John Harbaugh right there.
3rd and 10. 4.5 to go. Just about a yard or two short. Ertz caught it. Flag on the field in the offensive backfield.
Oh, this is going to be a hold. That's a backbreaker for Washington. It's a great rush by Owe, 99.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It was Andrew Wiley trying to somehow hold off Owe.
Well, it's tough. He's in a wide 9 technique, which means you're way outside, and so you got to get a good first step. And as soon as he dips his shoulder, Wiley's late, and I don't know, didn't look egregious. Who, me?
Yeah, Wiley agrees with you. It's going to be 3rd and 20 now.
Daniels has done it over and over again, but this seems like a tall task with these 2 plays.
They give him time. It's going to go underneath. Caught. Very little gain. 5 or 6 yards with Humphrey knocking him down right away. Now you got a 4th and 15, 14. Nope, that's actually 4th and 12.
That was the first ball that kind of came out a little fluttery that actually needed to be kind of on a rope. I think he had to get it over the hands, the D-line, but here it is. I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe the game right here. Maybe.
We're inside 4 minutes.
He's never not converted on a 4th down, Jim?
Never. 9 for 9, including the touchdown earlier in this quarter. But this is 12 yards to go. Just lobs it up. That might draw a flag. As Noah Brown was the target, they got a flag. They've got the first down.
Wow. This was such a perfect throw. You give the receiver a ton of time. It has just falling on you, and the flag wasn't thrown by the nearest 2 judges there.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. First down to the spot of the foul.
I agree with you, Tony. The way he puts so much air under that ball to create a situation that might also improve the chances of a PI.
That's exactly right. Great call. And that was the correct line judge, you should call it, because he held him on the backside, so the guys in the front wouldn't have seen it. Excellent job by the referees, and another 4th down converted.
Doesn't count as a conversion technically.
Under pressure.
But the perfect streak remains intact of 9 for 9. 23-yard penalty.
That should be counted. I don't understand why they don't count it. You get the ball, you move the chains, it counts.
I mean, it is. They got out of a 3rd and 20, and now they're going to be behind the sticks after that sack. They have 2 timeouts.
Well, this was supposed to be a little gadget play. Screen, we're going to throw back. Pull everybody, but throw this back over here, but watch the edge. You don't fool Van Noy, the veteran, who's off to one of the best starts of his career.
14.
Called his name many times today. Pearson on that play too. 2nd and 12. Daniels feels the pressure. Buying time.
He runs when he goes left.
And he goes out of bounds at the 32.
Smartly going out of bounds there. Gives him a 3rd and manageable.
.259 to go.
They got to score before the 2-minute warning.
Remember, a field goal still is in play.
Yes, but to me, it's like you can still technically get it back under 2 minutes, but realistically, you don't want to have to kick the onside. If you score before 2 minutes, you can still kick it deep and feel comfortable.
3rd and 8, and a timeout called by the Ravens.
Well, Washington substituted late. Smart by John Harbaugh there.
With a rookie quarterback that keeps facing these difficult challenges, sometimes they seem insurmountable, and he still finds a way. He's got a 3rd and 8 right now.
He just gives his team a chance over and over again. It just keeps getting tougher, but like I told you earlier, when I saw that Cincinnati drive at the end, Jim, it was eye-opening. I don't see a lot of the subtlety that I saw him do from young quarterbacks.
Hey, foul. One. Yeah, one. Hey, war.
2 safeties deep. You can work the middle of the field here or use your legs.
Running. Now, he's going to take off with it. And he's going to come up about 5-6 yards short.
And most linebackers he's able to run away from, but not Roquan Smith there with the speed he has. We saw that last year when they had him and Queen, and smartly taking the field goal here, keeping the clock.
Yep. Dan Quinn doesn't even think about it. Brings out Seibert. Let's see if he can get a clean kick. He has made a long field goal in this game. He's missed 1 field goal. Had a PAT that wasn't pretty, but went through. This is 49 yards to keep the Commanders in the game. Austin Seibert's kick. Now that's a beauty.
How do you kick the extra point like that?
I have no idea.
Come back and do that one.
Here's a guy that got signed, and all of a sudden, his first game as a Commander, he sets a franchise record with 7 field goals in his first game in a Washington uniform to beat the Giants. And again, this franchise has been around since 1932, and he walks in
7.
game 1, sets a record.
Hey, by the way, you're going to play today, and you got 7 field goal attempts. Just knock them all through.
Yep, including the game winner, by the way. So they've got the 2-minute warning. They have 2 timeouts.
Kick it
and
deep.
they figure out a way to stop the Ravens.
You're kicking it deep. And I think we know that. I'm going to guess, Jim, only because you have to tell everybody you're kicking an onside if you're going to do it. And so we already see him back there.
Yep.
But you do have the closer in Derrick Henry on the other side, and that's a tall task. I mean, I'd entertain the idea of the onside, but I would still kick it deep. They're going to have to sell out, so whenever they want to throw the ball, they're going to have plenty of space to do it, but it's how risky do you want to be? I'd still give to Derrick Henry on the first 2 downs. And then do the same thing and hold it with Lamar on 3rd.
Seibert's kick. This time kicks it high and long and settles in the end zone for a 30-yard start. 138 yards rushing for the Ravens today. It's not up to where their average is because the passing game's been there for him. Jackson already 323 yards passing. Henry 6 away from 100.
Yeah, and they're still averaging almost 5 yards a carry. But, I mean, this is like holding them to 50 yards rushing when you only give up 138. But they're going to try and make that 150 on this drive. Big personnel, 3 tight ends in. Well, you can count Ricard as a fullback, but you can go either way. You look at the front.
Heavy dose of Henry coming. First down run for a couple. Timeout called by Washington, leaving them with 1.
Washington sells out against the run there. That's why I say if you want to be risky, you're going to have an open field basically to throw a one-on-one match outside. And I really believe Washington is going to have to do the same thing again and just hope that Baltimore doesn't run a play action.
If you're Baltimore, are you thinking about, I've heard you say many times, the second down is where you might want to run it or throw it.
Correct, because if you get no yards here, now you're going to in a position where they know you're throwing it. Great point, Jim. I'm doing it on second down when they're still selling out because you have all the space. You can even throw a wide receiver screen. You can actually just block him up and have a one-man route. Otherwise, he's not open. You run with the ball. But I'd play action, throw it to the flat.
2nd and 8. Toss. Henry. First down and a whole lot more. Henry breaks it all the way down to the 40-yard line.
I take everything back. You have Derrick Henry. Just forget about it and just give him the ball 2 times. And you'll see a toss play. Aguilar knocks to the end, and he outruns Ricard, the fullback there. But he's the closer, Jim.
Yep,
this is why they can win in December and January. Lamar does not have to be the sole focus.
That's the same play they ran in overtime with Henry that went for 51 to set up the game winner. This one goes for 28. He's got another 100-yard performance. Perhaps a little bonus coverage. The CBS games that have not come to a conclusion when we pitch it to them. But we've got 2 minutes to go, and the Commanders have 1 timeout. First down for Baltimore, up 7. Henry adding to his total. Got 128 yards on the game. Timeout called by Washington. 23, actually 127 on 23 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Now they're over 170 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Closer.
You know, Dan Quinn, all this excitement going into the game, he tried to downplay it because after all, coming out of this, you still have a whole, like 2/3 of the season to go. So he downplayed the significance of this one to a large extent and said, we're just trying to focus on getting better. We have a lot of ways we can get better.
That's exactly right. And I really like that approach because you'll have another game next week and you can't just make this your Super Bowl and then lose a game right afterward.
So you can see this one is coming down to the wire. And Nashville, actually the Colts have the football approaching 2 minutes, but bonus coverage coming up on the State Farm Post Game Show.
They like to get wide in these situations.
2nd and 6.
Do it again.
Henry about a yard away from the first. People tend to think that if you go 0-2, man, you may have dug yourself a hole you can't recover from. That does not apply to the Ravens. They're on their way, it appears. Not over yet, but would be a 4th consecutive win.
And they're really, like all teams, they're finding themselves. They had 4 or 5 coaches on that staff who left. And defensively, I mean, that's a tall task to say, hey, we're going to come out and be great because they were struggling in pass coverage, but it really wasn't personnel driven. I feel like Washington's a little bit more like that where it's harder to solve. It was mostly guys just trying to do too much, coming out of coverage, passing up a guy and going up because he saw the quarterback look here, and then like Josh Allen throws it behind. It was just not smart football. And so John Harbaugh has really done a great job of shoring that up.
Calls the timeout as the play clock. He used it all. We got a 3rd and less than a 1 coming up with 1:10 to go Henry has just gone over 700 yards on the season, leads the league in rushing, 704 yards, including today, in 6 games.
Yeah, and this game in some ways was going to come down to what team can run the ball better, because they're both really, I mean, the top 2 teams in the league in rushing, and Baltimore we know is #1 defensively against the rush. And give Zach Orr credit. I thought he had a great plan coming in here today, but still one more play. One more Derrick Henry run to the right.
3rd and a foot. Looks like a little confusion, but Lamar takes care of business, gets popped by Chin, and that draws a lot of comeback here from the Raven bench. You don't do that to our quarterback, they're saying, when he was clearly out of bounds or on his way.
It was close.
By the way, the clock is still running.
Well, there is a rule that says if you don't fight to get upfield. But I mean, the game's on the line. It's close. Obviously, you don't want to do it. But I mean, look, this is right at the sticks, Jim. If that is that close, I don't know that you cannot hit him right there. He's still in.
Clock operator, please reset the clock to 1 minute and 5 seconds. 1:05.
And I know that feeling in your brain. Lamar's like, I shouldn't get out of bounds. Well, yes, you got to get the first down. It's over, even if you get out of bounds. They have no timeouts. You can just kneel it out twice. What a play call, by the way. That's why they're so hard to stop. Like, you fake it to Henry, and you have to sell out, right? And then you have Lamar Jackson keeping the ball.
Handshakes already underway. Just a couple of kneel downs to come. And you look at the Ravens on their way to 4-2.
Lamar with another MVP season. And I'm not saying mentor, mentee, but, you know, talking with Daniels, he looked up to Lamar. And because they're both dual threats and, you know, they both can play from the pocket, they're just 2 of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and they're both trying to climb the ladder of their legacy and where it'll end. But the ceilings for both these guys, sky high.
It was a fun game to watch.
It was, and it's going to be fun for the next decade.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be fun to watch how this season plays out, because the Ravens are rolling now. And this is a season where all roads lead to the Superdome in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. I know the Chiefs are sitting there undefeated. They'll have a whole lot to say about everything. It's got to go through Kansas City. But John Harbaugh and the Ravens won the last time the Super Bowl was contested in New Orleans. Super Bowl 47. And that's where, again, this season will conclude in February. They've got a road game and a road game coming up at Tampa, at Cleveland. Meanwhile, Washington next week will host Carolina, and they'll have a jersey retirement, a number retirement ceremony next week for the great Darrell Green. He spent 20 years in his Hall of Fame career.
Amazing player.
Lamar now 22-1 against the NFC. Over 300 today. Derrick Henry 132 on the ground.
Let's not forget Zay Flowers. Incredible first half.
Yep, all of his catches came in the first half. Quinn and Harbaugh meet at midfield, and the Ravens win it. It's 30-23 final, Baltimore.